Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to go over loan management in Odoo 18. Let's go to accounting, and inside of accounting, the menu item, we're going to go into loans and we'll create a new loan. Now this is all new information, so I'll cover it in more detail and explain exactly what we need to apply and why we need to apply it and what should happen once we create this loan. But first, let's just go over some of the items that we see on screen here. So we can create a loan name. We can set in the amount borrowed, the loan date, the duration. We can tag this with an asset group so that we can link a loan to specific assets within our system. Down below within our tabs, we have our amortization schedule, which can be uploaded or generated based on standard amortization schedules that are offered across the globe. And then we have our loan settings. Inside of our loan settings, we're going to set our long-term liability account, our short-term account, so what's due within the next 12 months, our interest expense account, a journal associated with that loan, and then if we need to, we can say that we're going to skip the amortization schedule for a specific period of time. And that's specifically helpful if we're bringing this in from a different system or from Excel. We might want to skip some of those amortization lines that get generated. So before we go ahead and create one, let's go over some concepts that we need to keep in mind as we go through the creation. So I'm going to scroll over here. And the first thing we need to talk about are the accounts that get created, or the accounts that we need for our loan. The first one is a loan payable account. This is going to be your long-term liability, so a non-current liability. This is everything that's due on the loan after the first 12 months. So whatever is not due in the current 12-month period. Our short-term liability account, the loan payable short-term, is going to be a current liability that holds the value that's due within the next 12 months. Then we're going to have our interest expense account, which is going to show us the cost of borrowing over time. Now the system is going to automatically take care of all these journal entries for us. So let's go ahead and look at the journal entries that get created. First, we got to understand what journal entries get created. So there's 3 journal entries that get created, and that's going to be for each amortization line. The first one is a payment entry. That's going to be for what is due on that day. So that's going to be the principal and interest, and it's going to offset our long and short-term liability. Then we're going to have a reclassification entry. That's going to also happen on that day of the amortization schedule. And this is going to reclassify our short and long-term obligation. So once we pay for a month, our short-term obligation will change and our long-term obligation will change. So we need to offset that. Finally, we're going to have a reversal of that reclassification, and that's going to happen on the next day. So let's imagine that our amortization schedule is on a monthly basis. So at the end of the month, we're going to create a payment entry that's due, then a reclassification entry to show what our actual current liability is versus our long-term liability. And then we're going to reverse that so that at the next time that we need to pay, those journal entries get created again. And then once we look back at our financials, we'll see over time, month over month, exactly what our long and short-term obligations were. So let's look exactly at those journal entries. The first one is the payment entry. And we'll see that we're going to debit our long-term payable account, that non-current liability. Then we'll credit our loan payable short-term current liability. Then we'll debit our interest expense account. So our interest expense account is going to increase our expenses. Our current liabilities will also increase and will decrease our long-term liability because we're making a payment to that loan. Then there's the 2 reclassification entries. The first one is just simply going to debit our long-term payable, credit our short-term payable, and then finally our reclassification entry, which will reverse the 2. Now let's go back into the system and work through this. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we have our account set up. So inside of our chart of accounts, I have them set up. We can search our loan, and we'll see we have 3 loan accounts. We have our non-current liability, long-term, we have our current liabilities, short-term, and then we have our loan interest expense account. Next, we're going to want a journal for our loan. So I have a simple one set up. Under journals, I created a miscellaneous journal called loan. We don't need to have this default account here. I'll just save this. Now, from here, we're typically going to have a loan. It comes into our bank account, right? Let's say it's a $100,000 loan that's going to get uh, deposited into our bank account, which will create a bank statement line. So inside of our bank, let's create a new transaction. We'll do it manually here. So we'll create a new line. We'll just say this is a loan payment or a loan that's going to get sent to us. And we'll set our amount at $100,000 and we'll just save that. So now we have one pending transaction of $100,000, which we'll reconcile in just a few minutes. Next, let's go ahead and create our loan. So inside of accounting, we'll go to loans and create a new loan. We'll just call this loan for the sake of simplicity. And then we can enter in the amount borrowed here. But I want to pay attention to the buttons at the top. We have upload or compute. You can upload a CSV file of your amortization schedule, or you can compute one on the fly. So we'll click on compute here. So inside of compute, we can set our computing method, or a compounding method rather. And our compounding method is going to give us all of the availability of the common computing methods or compounding methods. Here I'll select 30U 360, which is essentially just saying that it's going to take every month is going to be 30 days divided by 360 days in a year as opposed to 365. This is just a common one in the United States. You should check with your loan provider to see what compounding method you use. And if it's not available here, you can just take their amortization schedule and import it yourself as opposed to selecting one of these and letting the system generate it. So now I'm going to enter my loan amount, which is going to be $100,000. We'll just say it's going to be 5% interest over 5 years. And then we can set our start date. So if it's going to be today, or maybe it was the first of the month, or maybe the beginning of the year if it happened previously. And if we set a start date that was prior to this or today's date, it's going to automatically post the journal entries that should have been posted. So keep that in mind. The payment can be either at the end of the month or at the anniversary, so 11/11, 12/11, or at the end of the current month and the end of the current next month, etc. So I'll do end of month here, and we see a preview here of our principal and interest and our payments. So I'll click apply. Now the system automatically generated our amortization schedule, and we can see that down below. One thing to keep in mind, we have our principal, our interest, our payments, what the outstanding balance will be at that time. Then we have our long and short term, and these are going to be theoretical amounts of what that should look like at that date. So you'll see them adjust over time for what our long-term liability is versus our short-term in the next 12 months. Now let's go to our loan settings and set up all of our accounts. So the first one is going to be our loan payable, our long-term liability, then our short-term liability, then our interest, and then our journal, which is going to be our loan. And again, if we needed to skip until a certain date, we can do so here. I'm going to save this, and now we can confirm it. But before I confirm it, I'm going to reconcile our journal entry or our bank statement line. So I'm going to go to our dashboard, and when we have our bank statement line for $100,000, I'm going to just do a manual journal entry and put it right into that long-term account. So that's our long-term liability. And if we go back to our dashboard, I'm going to go into our balance sheet here, and we'll see that we have $100,000 in our bank account, and we have $100,000 in our loan payable, our long-term non-current liabilities rather. Now, from an accounting perspective, we're going to go into the loan, and we'll confirm the loan. As soon as I confirm the loan, it's going to generate all of my draft journal entries. None will be posted at this time because I set the loan date to today. So the next journal entry that will get generated is on 10/31. We're going to manually override that and just post it today just so we can see what happens. So let's go to our posted entries, and we'll see our reclassification entry. We'll see our principal and interest entry, and then we'll see our reversal of that entry. So let's go into the reclassification entry. The reclassification entry again is going to show us what our short-term versus our long-term liability is. So I'm just going to set this to today. We can save this and post. And I'm going to go back to our balance sheet, and we're going to see our loan payable short term. Right now, our current liability for the next 12 months is $18,164 with 80 cents. And our non-current liability is $81,835 with 20 cents. Now, the next journal entry that would get generated or posted rather automatically for us is going to be this payment and interest. So principal and interest rather. And we're going to see here that we're going to debit our long-term liability because we are paying off a portion of our loan. We're going to credit our short-term account for $18.87 with 12 cents. And then we're going to debit our loan interest expense account. So that's just going to hold that value of the loan interest expense so that we can calculate what's an expense inside of our profit and loss statement. Okay, so I'm going to change the date here to the 11th. I'm going to save this and I'm also going to post it. Now I'm going to copy this for use later on. And let's just check our financial statements to make sure everything is accurate. So first we'll go into our profit and loss statement. We'll see we have our loan interest expense account, $277.78. Inside of our balance sheet, we'll see our adjusted loan payable, short-term and long-term. And now what will happen typically is in our bank account, a line will get created for us. Maybe we have our bank synced or we're uploading a bank statement. And then we're going to reconcile what the loan provider takes out from our bank with that short-term liability account. Okay, so we can do that manually, of course, but if you wanted to, you can create a reconciliation model. So maybe I was to go into our reconciliation model, create a new rule that says loan payment, and I'll just do this very simple for now. Maybe we want to create a rule to suggest a counterpart entry. We might want to auto validate that, and we'll say if it contains loan, which in your case, it might be very much more specific than just loan. And we're also going to just automatically put that into the short-term account, and we'll say loan payment. So we'll save this and we'll go back to our dashboard. We'll create a new transaction and we'll call this loan, and it's going to be a negative value, and we'll add and close that. So now we have our new bank statement line that came in to pay that loan. You'll see one to reconcile, but of course, once our reconciliation models run, so we'll just run this loan payment manually here, and we'll see one journal entry was automatically reconciled for us. Now this would automatically reconcile. We wouldn't have to click this button, but because I want to force it and show you now, I click the button and we'll see that got reconciled, and our short-term liability was reconciled to our bank account. So we could verify that. If we go to our balance sheet, we see our banking cash account has decreased, and then we offset that in that loan payable short term. And then on the next day, what's going to happen is that loan entry, the reversal of the previous one, is going to get posted. So here, for the sake of our demonstration, I'm just going to post it today. And if I go back to our balance sheet, we'll see the adjustments made. We see our long-term liability, nothing in the short term right now. But then once we compare month over month, we would have seen those values in their respective accounts, so we can see the change over time. Now, that's all you need to do for your loans. Everything is handled for you. A couple of other things to keep in mind. If we go back to our loan, if I cancel this loan or close it, rather, if I cancel this loan, it's going to delete all the entries, even the posted ones. If I close it, it's going to cancel out all of the draft entries. So keep that in mind if you're messing with any of this or testing. So just for the sake of showing, I'm going to cancel this, and we'll see the posted entries go to 0. And if I go back to my balance sheet, you'll see now that we just have the journal entries that we created for the payment. So we put the $100,000 in our long-term payable account, and we did pay the $1887.12 with that journal entry or that bank reconciliation, so it's still there. But the actual journal entries have been deleted. So if I go to journal entries, we only see 2 posted journal entries, and that's for our bank account. So just keep that in mind. So that's all you need to know. Let me know if you have any questions.